شريعة ربنا نور به نسمو على النجم به نحيا بلا ذل.
Actually, that doesn't happen, is it? What happens instead is, when a cut happens on one of my blood vessels, immediately you will see processes. They come together. Fibrinogen, the meshwork to form the clots. They come together and then they start forming a cock. It's like total mesh, and then seal it so that it's now sealed. And I would say that's not design. Yeah. So, for example, at the very minute, for example, now you're breathing. What's happening is you're breathing in air, nitrogen, oxygen, and other things in this air, and then it goes to your lungs. And what happens? The gaseous exchange is occurring, where these oxygens are going through your lungs and you exhale out. This system that is processing it, you'd say, this is no design.
Okay, can I just ask you one question? That's right. Have you been to Natural History Museum recently?
Before I go to Natural History Museum, let's talk about the lungs and the heart.
Have you been there? Can you just give me a...
I have.
I've been listening to you a lot.
I have.
You have, right. Have you seen the new whale, the skeleton of the whale in the main hall?
Yeah, and recently probably not.
Right,
used to be a dinosaur before.
Right, you see there's little bones at the back.
Yeah.
Where there's legs, like as it's sort of. Why would a designer put those little bones there?
That's not my question. You're questioning.
Why would a designer do that?
Now you see, you are actually committing a logical fallacy. Just because your idea of a design is that tripod should have a tail, for example, or shouldn't have a tail, doesn't make it not designed. If a whale has a tail or not a tail, legs or not a legs, it doesn't mean the whole whale is not a design. You, for example, you don't have tail now, the monkeys do, right? We human beings don't have a tail, but we have some tail bones. The tail bone does not in any way negate that our body demonstrates evidence of design. This is your logical fallacy you're committing. So the heart, for example, which pumps the blood.
It's a question that it is.
Please. The heart that pumps the blood with all the valves that allows the blood to go from one chamber to the other and closes in one way. You can't get the blood the other way because it's like this. Yeah? Tricuspid valves and others. Now, you can in your own dreams on your awakened state argue with yourself. There is no evidence of design in there. But the fact of the matter is, you know that this is a perfect design that does its job. The moment you are born and as you grow up until the moment you die, it does it without you controlling it. It pumps the blood throughout your life and it does it very well because that's the way it is designed. But you do two things. Now you do two things. You're saying first, there is no design in any of the organs in our body, and secondly, that design is not perfect. Who's asking for a perfect design? You are fit for purpose, that's what it matters. If I say, for example, you know what, you'd better off having wings, you know what, that's probably a better design. No, you don't need to have wings for the purpose that you designed for. This is what we believe as Muslims, that we are fit for purpose. That's the way we're designed. So, doesn't matter now if you see, for example, we have tail bones, and it doesn't have the actions of a tail.
Why are some people born without limbs then?
Please. Are you suggesting those people who are disabled when they're born, they don't show any evidence of design within their body? Any evidence? In the hearing, the cochlea? In the cochlea itself, right? Do you know how we hear things and how it makes us balance? The reason you're standing is because of these things in your inside your ear, making the sense of balance.
Okay, so
that's not design.
You say people are intelligently designed. So someone who's born.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, why do you say you do not see any evidence of design within a human being when every single thing in your body demonstrate there's a design? Demonstrate there's a design. It doesn't. So, for example, when you eat food, what happens? The food goes in and comes out. There is no process involved to break it down into ATP, the energy, right? There is.
It was the species that weren't able to.
No, you.
The ones that died off.
My friend, when you eat food, say an apple, the apple goes in and nothing happens. It just goes in, and when you just broke it down with your teeth into pieces, and exactly just comes out, or does something happen? Does it happen through a particular machineries which, because of the design of the machinery, it breaks down, extracts the energy, and then gets rid of the waste products?
Can you give me a moment, please? Do you know what reverse meaning is?
Tell me.
Reverse meaning is when you basically say that something's created. It's like people say camels have large hoofs, you know, feet, hoofs, so they don't sink in the sand. What you should really be saying is that camels have large hoofs and they don't sink in the sand.
So is it designed for that
it's the
purpose?
ones with the small hoofs that are died off.
So it's designed for that purpose then? It's like a very good design not to sink on the sand. So you agree it's like a very good design. So now you have
I've seen certain species that have died off because they weren't able to adapt to the environment.
So you're telling me this is an evidence of design where it's fit for that purpose so that it doesn't sink in the sand. So you, for example, so your food that goes inside your body, do you know how it's digested with enzymes? Do you know how your liver metabolizes and detoxifies things? And it's not a design. I mean, if you don't believe in any of that, I do understand your position. It's what is called reluctance. It's actually called some kind of...
Do you think everyone's born perfect?
No, I'm talking about this body that you have and the reluctance of yourself in accepting that there are systems within ourselves which are demonstrating evidence of design.
Do you think everyone's intelligently designed?
No. I am not saying it's designed. I'm saying, why are you reluctant to see the thing, every part of your body, your skin, the nerve endings, how the pain transmit from the nerve endings to the brain, and
Survival mechanism.
it's not about survival mechanism. What I'm saying is, you are a system in which there are multiple layers and layers and layers of design, but you don't see it. I would like to know, why can't you see it when it's obvious?
Because the species before me, you didn't have those.
As good as this. Now, does that somehow prove that this camera doesn't demonstrate any evidence of design?
It does.
Okay.
We've got records of design.
What is it? Okay. What is it with this camera that demonstrates to you that it's designed?
It demonstrates it.
Yeah.
We've got records of blueprints of the materials, how it's put together.
So if you didn't have any of the records, if you didn't see anyone putting it together, you only saw the camera. No manuals, nothing, just the camera. And imagine, you don't read...
The probability is very strong.
No, let's understand something.
I didn't see this camera put together.
Yeah.
But I can confidently tell you that was intelligently designed.
What is it with...
I know how things are made.
No, you're not really examining the data. You're making up assumptions. You have the camera in your sight. You can examine it. You can see and break it apart. And you can see what the design has been put in. Rather than saying, from my experience, these things are made by manufacturers of camera. So I could generalize that and say, this one also is made. This is an assumption from generalization, right? So I would say you are committing this logical fallacy of generalization. You are generalizing. Did you see that camera being made? No. This is generalization. You are generalizing by your assumptions of previous experiences that there are other cameras you've heard of being made or seen some of them maybe. You haven't seen this one made, but you are making a general conclusion out of what? This generalization principle. You haven't seen that made. But if you did not use this kind of logical fallacy of generalization, and you say, now let me look at this camera by itself, so I can open it up, break it apart into pieces, and see how they're put together, and see how it functions. Look at the result that it produces. You will see, this is engineered. You don't know who is engineered. Imagine, you didn't say Canon. It could be a generic camera, right? Because you don't know who made it, you'd still say, definitely I'm certain there is knowledge and wisdom that has been put together in the engineering and manufacture and planning and designing of this particular piece, which it does what it does. You would have no doubt in accepting that. You don't need to know who made it. You can still conclude by examining that piece itself that it has a maker. If you believed otherwise, that actually no, things happened over billions of years by chance. No conscious process were involved, no conscious agents were involved. It just happened that it came together and then it formed that piece. There's some people who believe in that, but I don't think you would believe in that. You will say it makes no sense of such a piece to be put together like that.
There's many things that don't function that well, they die off.
Your eyes are better than this. And yet, this has to be designed, but the eye is not designed. Your lungs, your heart, your brains, your ears, everything, nothing is designed.
I'm just going to see a friend now, but if it's good talking to you, it's interesting. I urge you to look up two things: circular reasoning and also reverse meaning as well.
Yeah. Do you know that circular reasoning is something that we haven't applied, none of us yet? Reverse meaning is to do with what? Psychology. I am saying I observe the data. Yeah? And then I say the cause for the data. That's not what reverse meaning. Okay, what's your name?
David.
David? Nice to meet you. With no hard feelings. I just did this in a harsh way. I apologize. It's just to shake you a little bit, saying, actually, sometimes I need to think beyond the box. Sure. That's all. We'll talk again perhaps another time. Yeah? Take Mansoor. Mansoor. You take care, my friend. Yeah? See you later.